Get ready, faithful fans, because the San Francisco 49ers are on the brink of a major transformation. And it's not just speculation, it's happening. With some fan favorites eyeing the exit, the pressure is on for emerging stars to rise and fill those huge shoes. Who will take the reins and lead the charge into the next chapter of 49ers football? Stay tuned as we break down the players who are primed to make waves and ensure the legacy lives on. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to catch all the latest updates. As we dive deep into the upcoming offseason for the San Francisco 49ers, it's clear that changes are on the horizon. With key players like Dre Greenlaw, Charvarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, and Deebo Samuel potentially moving on, the pressure is on for some young talent to step up and fill those gaps. The task ahead isn't just about replacing veterans, but about building a future that keeps this team's championship window wide open. One player I'm particularly excited about is wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. Drafted in the first round, Pearsall's journey has already been nothing short of remarkable. After surviving a gunshot wound last year, he not only made it back to the field, but also put up 400 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in his rookie season. With Deebo Samuel looking to explore trade options and Brandon Ayuk still recovering from significant injuries, Pearsall is poised for a breakout season. But here's the question. Can he handle the pressure of being the top target? Honestly, I'm torn. There's so much potential, but also a lot riding on his young shoulders. What do you think? Can Pearsall rise to the occasion? Then we have running back Isaac Guerendo, a name that should be on every fan's radar. Last season, the 49ers' backfield was a carousel of injuries, and while Christian McCaffrey is expected to return healthy, the uncertainty around Jordan Mason's future complicates things. Guerendo stepped up admirably last year, averaging 5.0 yards per carry. If Mason doesn't return, Guerendo could find himself as the primary backup, which is a huge responsibility for a young player. Do you believe he has what it takes to support McCaffrey effectively? Let's discuss this in the comments. Another intriguing player is linebacker D. Winters. With Greenlaw potentially seeking greener pastures, Winters is on the cusp of a significant promotion. He has shown promise, starting 10 games last season and contributing on defense. But can he step into a full-time role alongside Fred Warner if Greenlaw departs? This is a critical moment for Winters and the 49ers linebacker core. It's all about seizing the opportunity, and I can't help but wonder if he's ready to take that leap. What are your thoughts? Is Winters the right man for the job? And let's not forget about defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos. His situation is a bit more complex. Coming off a season where he faced challenges, he has no guaranteed money left on his contract for 2025. The 49ers have a glaring need for effective edge rushers, especially behind Nick Bosa. Gross-Matos proved he can make an impact, but will that be enough to secure his spot on the roster? With the team possibly looking to bring in new talent, Gross-Matos needs to elevate his game. I'm curious, do you think he can find a way to secure a more prominent role, or do you see him as a potential casualty of roster cuts? Let's hear your opinions. As we look at these 4 players, it's clear that the 49ers are at a crossroads. The decisions made this offseason will not only shape the roster for 2025 but also define the future of the franchise. The pressure is immense, and the stakes couldn't be higher. It's a mix of excitement and anxiety as we watch these young talents rise to the occasion. I want to hear from all of you. What are your expectations for Ricky Pearsall, Isaac Guerendo, D. Winters, and Yetur Gross-Matos? Do you think the 49ers are making the right moves heading into the offseason? Join the debate in the comments below. Your insights are what makes this community so special. The San Francisco 49ers are once again in the spotlight, but this time it's not for the right reasons. Deebo Samuel's trade request for 2025 raises eyebrows and creates a rift that feels all too familiar, yet distinctly different from the saga we witnessed back in 2022. Let's dive into the nuances of this situation because, as a diehard 49ers fan, I can't help but feel a mix of concern and frustration. In 2022, Samuel was coming off a career year, posting jaw-dropping numbers that made him one of the league's most electrifying receivers. He wanted a new contract, and his dramatic trade request included ominous Instagram scrubs and cryptic videos that had us all speculating. Ultimately, he showed up to training camp, and the 49ers managed to strike a deal. But this time is different. The whispers from insiders, like Tim Kawakami, suggest that both Deebo and the 49ers are ready to part ways. That's alarming. After a less than stellar 2024 season where Samuel was reportedly 20 pounds overweight and struggled with his performance, the 49ers may not see him as the invaluable asset he once was. With only 670 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns to his name, it's hard to blame them for reassessing his value. And here's where it stings. While the 49ers were desperate to keep him in 2022, they might not feel that same urgency now. The management is reportedly tired of the back-and-forth negotiations with receivers, especially after the Brandon Ayuk contract saga. It seems like they are drawing a line in the sand, and that could spell trouble for Deebo. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, you want to keep a player who has shown incredible potential and versatility. On the other hand, the 49ers have a franchise to protect, and if Samuel isn't performing at his peak, they need to consider their options. As fans, we crave stability and success. But can we have that with a player who may not be fully committed to his fitness and performance? It's a delicate balance. Samuel's dynamic playmaking ability is undeniable, yet the numbers don't lie. After racking up 1,400 receiving yards and 365 rushing yards in 2021, his drop-off in production last season raises questions. The 49ers need to focus on the future, and if that means moving on from a player who may not fit into their long-term plans, it's a painful but necessary decision. What I find particularly intriguing is the notion that if Deebo is released rather than traded, he could land a lucrative deal elsewhere. This could change the narrative entirely, providing him with a fresh start while allowing the 49ers the financial flexibility to pursue new talent. But that's a gamble that has its own risks. What if he thrives in another system? As passionate fans, we need to consider how these decisions will shape the team's future. The 49ers have a history of making bold moves, but they also need to be strategic. With the looming draft and free agency, the front office has a lot on their plate. Are they willing to risk losing a talented player like Deebo for the sake of a few bad performances? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. This isn't just about Deebo Samuel. It's about the direction of the franchise. Are these trade talks just posturing, or are we genuinely witnessing the end of an era? The emotions are running high, and as fans, we have every right to voice our concerns. The 49ers need to make smart decisions moving forward, and if that means parting ways with Samuel, then so be it. But I hope they weigh the potential consequences of that choice carefully. We've seen how quickly things can change in the NFL, and one miscalculation could set the franchise back. So, if you're as invested in this as I am, don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue this conversation as the offseason unfolds. The future of the 49ers is at stake, and I can't wait to see how this drama plays out. Let's keep the dialogue going.